Good day. The digitization exercise in DT05 finishes off with an attestation exercise in which you have to create 3 new domains and 3 new feature classes, and then visualize these feature classes with the symbology from the domain in ArcMap, and then digitize forest stands, roads, rivers, and also label the features, and then at the end make a nice map. So I would like to give you an example of how you could do the attestation exercise. So first of all, you're using the digitization MXD, in which you have feature classes already visualized. So first of all, in the digitization geodatabase, make 3 fictitious new domains. For example, forest stand, and I use text often for this, for the coded values. And then let's make this development stage. Sorry. And then 3 different stages, so that would be a seedling, then for example a young tree, an old tree, and an old tree, or a mature tree. Just anything that you find appropriate. So once you've made a domain, you I'm just going to make one for you now. Well, let me make a second one for you. I'll also make the domain, for example, for streets. So street types of streets. We also give that a text, and then for our forest road infrastructure, the first type could be, for example, asphalt. The second type could be gravel. And maybe let's go for sand, and a 4th one, mixed. Okay. And then within the feature data set, I'll create 2 for you now. So the street, so the road infrastructure, I'll just call it roads. Will have to be a line feature class, of course, and then we add the fields that we created in the domain. So it'll be road type, which was text, wasn't it? And then we can add the domain here, street types. Let's also give it a text field, so we can add some labels there, right? Okay, we can call it text. Then we add another feature class, the stands, stands, which are polygons. Then the development stage, we can now connect the feature classes to the domain, and then we add the text, we add the name, which is text, yeah. So let's just check if it's there. Okay, fine. So fine, we have now created a domain, 2 domains, and we have also added 2 new feature classes to the geodatabase. We then apply the symbology, which we then take from the domains for the road type, add the values, and then make it a bit thicker so you can see it well. Yeah, let's make it nice and thick. So those are the road types. We can just call it type. And just call this road here. There we go. And then for the stands, we also go and get the symbology from the domain. We add all the values. And it might be nice to have the young tree on top here. Add the seedling on top, of course. The young tree just one further up. And then different shades of green would probably be most suitable. For example here, well, for the whole set, let's see, we can give this one a light green, this one a bit darker, as they get older they get greener, sort of, and then the mature ones are dark green. Fine. We can add that. Okay. So I just saved my. So I've added 2 feature classes which are now linked to the domain. And now the idea is to just digitize a new forest stand and a road infrastructure, but you will also be doing rivers in your attestation exercise. So I zoom in a bit to an area, and let's say this is my area here, where I have my own personal forest stand right here. So I commence an editing session. Let's start off with the forest stands first. Now I have to activate my create features window, and let's just start off with these are the development stages here. Entwicklungsstufe means development stage in English. Start off with a B2, which is sort of adult tree. Oh no, sorry. I've also got the domain in English here. Let's start off with some seedlings. Let's say that this is a seedling stand here. So I just click every time with my mouse on a vertex, and I press Ctrl Z if I want to go back. And so this, and then I click through here, and I double click to finish off the polygon. Now to add adjacent polygons, for example, there's a young tree stand next to it, but now I use the autocomplete polygon, and the polygon has to be selected. So I can start off here on this vertex, and for example, let's say the young tree stand goes through here. And then it clicks to the vertex, I double click, and it's perfectly adjacent to the other stand. So now let me make a stand which is perfectly adjacent to both of them, so I select both. And this is an adult tree stand. I go down to my autocomplete again, and I start where I want to, And let's say it goes through here now. So every time I change directions, basically, I sort of set a vertex to the map. So now I have made 3 forest stands. Let's make another one just to finish off, which is also adjacent to to these ones down here. So this here, and then I press Shift, and this one here. Actually, I can move this up a bit. Autocomplete. So let's just say this is our forest stand. Right. Control Z to go back one. I missed the vertex there. I will just need to select this one too. And I can go back to my autocomplete and continue. And there we go. This is to deselect right here. Now I can also select, for example, that's fine actually. Now let's make these semi-transparent so I can see the background. About 40. Okay, fine. Now within, let's save our edits. Don't forget to save your edits once in a while. So I can zoom in a bit here. Okay, this is now our new forest stand with 2 types of trees in the development stage. Now I'm going to make some forest roads which are passing through. So I click on my asphalt road feature class, which is now activating the road feature class right here. And let's just start through here. And I can click through here. So I'm just clicking on digitizing part of the road here. And let's make a gravel road. Let's say that this here is this is a gravel road here. So basically when you digitize, it's a lot of clicking work. Control Z to go back one. And then the last, basically that's fine. So let's save edits, deselect everything, save the MXD once in a while. The MXD, as you all know, is a representation of the data, a momentary representation of the data here, stored in layer files. The symbology is all stored in layer files, for example, which you can, if you want, save and then use in further projects. You know, if, for example, if you spend lots of time working on the symbology, which often you do. So I save it here in the stand layer file, and then it's saved right here and can be used at a later stage. So now what we want to do is we also want to label. So I'm going to stop this editing session now because I've done enough editing. You're going to do a bit more to make a nice map. Now I want to label the roads. So, oops, I have forgotten something. The name of the roads. I want to activate my road feature class. I want to call this one here the main road. So people reading my map will So I open up the attribute table, and within the text section I write in main road. Yeah. And then from my asphalt road, I think it is. No, let me deselect everything here. This is the gravel road. I want to call it a nature path. Yep. Fine. I save edits, stop editing. Now, so my road feature class, if I open my attribute table, you see the attributes that have been digitized plus the ones that are automatically calculated when you use a geodatabase, such as the length for a line feature class. I have now my text here. So I activate within the properties of the feature class the labels. I label features in this layer, and I want to label the text. And I would like the placement of the text to be curved following my feature class, the way it goes. And then I would like also to see my text very well. So I put a little halo around the text. I mark it as 1, otherwise the halo is too big. And then I click OK, OK. And you can see now that the main road is marked as main road, and the nature path as well. Basically, that is as much as I want to show you right now. The rest you can elaborate on yourself within the, within your exercise for the attestation. So I save again. Now, I would like a screenshot of this, for example, so I can see, okay, you have created new feature classes, 3 new feature classes, you have added them to the arc map, you have implemented the, you have added the symbology correctly, which you derived from, or you took from the geodatabase domain. It sort of makes sense in a way. This could be, a real life map to be used by forest engineers, for example. Now I want to make a nice print out of this, so I go into the, obviously go into the layout view first. Then I would like to change it to A0 for a landscape, so that'll change that automatically. I want to make this a bit bigger. Fine, I would like to zoom in a bit. And move this to the side. Let's zoom out a bit now. So we get the stand on the side here. Then I will like to have a title, which I will call my first stand map. Alright. Place it. Double click. Make it a bit bigger. 24 maybe. Fat. Alright. Should be okay. Place it. That's fine. Save it again. I always make regular saves. A good piece of advice. You never know when your computer's gonna crash or whatever. Or IT is gonna give you some sort of problem. What I would also like to insert is a scale bar. And I like, for example, this one here. So put it somewhere in the bottom here. Double click on it, since make the background Make the background white so we can see it well. And scales and units, I would like to, since we are in Europe, use meters. Okay. And then maybe just scale it to 100 meters, just like make it a bit smaller. There we go, 100 meters. So you can see 100 meters there. I would also like to add a legend. Insert the legend. What I want in my legend is just the roads and the stands, and you will be having road stands and the rivers, won't you? Then we go here, call it a legend. Also, it's fine. The background here as well, I like to use white. Give it a bit of a border, maybe something like this. There we go. Just click through that. Place that nicely right here. Alright. Finally, since the map is not quite pointing due north, actually the rule goes if it's not pointing due north, then you add a north arrow. So let's add, this here is not bad. Okay. Oh, actually it is pointing due north, the map, so it doesn't matter, we can leave it in anyway, just in case someone forgets that usually the top of the map is the north. Righty-ho, and save. And finally, export the map to PDF. Make sure you know where it's going. Let's call this first and yeah. Since I've already made one, obviously it's going to ask me to replace it. It doesn't matter. Place it, and it is already complete. So 2 screenshots, please. One of the finished map in the view, in the layout view, and another in the data view, where I can see the stuff that I asked for in the attestation exercise. For example, the 3 domains are in the database, the 3 new feature classes are created and connected to their respective domains, the symbology is represented in ArcMap, and etc. etc. So you can go ahead and read. This is another example. What exactly do I want? How much points do they each give? And 20 points is the maximum. If you get 11 points, you've passed. Thank you very much for your attention, and lots of fun.